In this video, I'm going to talk about Microraptor, a dinosaur that lived in the early Cretaceous. I'll start with its history, give a description, describe its evolution, then I'll have a fun little speculative section about what if it survived. Microraptor was discovered and named in 2000, and it was controversial from the start. The first person to name it, who called it Archaeoraptor, didn't follow all the arbitrary rules of naming a taxon, so the next guy called it Microraptor and everyone stuck with that. Someone else called it Cryptovalens later too, though to be fair to them, they didn't know it was the same animal. Soon it was recognized as the first dinosaur found with flight feathers on all fours, though some guy in 2002 said that was stupid and called it a bird. He's wrong in every way, but I gotta respect the confidence. I like to think birds are a vibe rather than a strictly defined group of dinosaurs, but unfortunately that's not very scientific. While Microraptor is definitely giving bird, it's a dromaeosaur, so it's much more closely related to stuff like Velociraptor and Deinonychus than true scientific avian birds. They're all in a group called Maniraptora within theropod dinosaurs though, which again I feel like any Maniraptors can be birds if they're really vibing hard enough. Source, I said so. Microraptor could probably fly better than Archaeopteryx, which has introduced questions about whether flightless dromaeosaurs evolved from a flighted ancestor, almost like killer ratites. Not that some ratites aren't already killers. Anyway, there's still not enough evidence to say for sure, but I'm on team secondarily flightless. Not that I have any evidence, but I think it would be cooler. Microraptor had iridescent black plumage similar to lots of corvids, and a bifurcated tail fan. That means that its tail fan was split in two. Kind of like a snake tongue has two ends. Microraptor lived in what is now China and had a very generalist diet. No one can say for sure if it hunted or scavenged, but it likely did a bit of both. They could get more than 80 centimeters long from snout to tail and have a wingspan of more than a meter. It's more likely they tended to be smaller though. Because of Microraptor's shoulder and hip anatomy, it probably evolved flight separately from true avialan birds, though again, it's possible there was a flighted common ancestor. Maniraptora contains all dinosaurs that could fly, though most couldn't. Most likely, flight evolved separately more than once, though feathers, or at least simpler feather-like filaments, are a basal feature of Maniraptors. Maniraptora is within Coelurosauria, along with lots of other theropods including Tyrannosaurus rex. Nothing else matters. Theropoda is a super old clade of dinosaurs that's existed since the Triassic. They're generally the ones that are bipedal and carnivorous, at least by the Jurassic. Walking on two legs is an ancestral trait in dinosaurs in general, so it's not exactly a good way to tell anything early in their evolution. They generally have hollow bones and 3 toes, though I don't know if that's really the best way of telling them apart. To be fair to me, there's debate about a certain Triassic reptile called Herrerasaurus, and if it's a theropod, some other dinosaur, or if it's even a dinosaur at all. It's probably an early theropod, but it's tough to tell with limited remains. And that's as far back as I'll go, but what about forward? It's clear that Microraptor left no descendants past the Cretaceous. No dromaeosaur did. But what if though? This is the part of the video where I have some fun and speculate on the form that Microraptor's descendants could have had if it survived. This part is way less scientific than the rest of the video, but I hope it's fun regardless. The Microraptor, or Mimiraptor for short, survived the end Cretaceous extinction event thanks to its affinity for digging. It's an exceptional flyer and takes off by leaping into the air with all 4 of its legs. This takeoff method is reminiscent of pterosaurs, which were the dominant flyers before their extinction and were able to reach the largest sizes of any flying animal to ever live. That's because they avoided the problem that birds deal with. Because they take off with one set of whims? That's because they avoided the problem that birds deal with. Because they take off with one set of limbs and fly with another. The exception being certain soaring birds, living and extinct that happen to be really big. Basically, if I'm a bird and I want to grow bigger, I'll need bigger wings to hold my weight. Then I'll need bigger legs to be able to take off with my heavier weight, but now I'm even heavier, so I need bigger wings. At some point, there's no stable balance of the two, and a bird is just too big to fly. While pterosaurs probably had a size limit too, It was much bigger because they could just take off with both their legs and their arms that they use for flight. To put it simply, they could take off with their flight muscles. Mimiraptor can do the same, though it's obviously not quite that big. Still, it provided an advantage since it helped Mimiraptor be incredibly agile and capable of jumping extremely high to then fly away and avoid predators. Another adaptation of this Microraptor descendant is that it had lost all its teeth and evolved a beak to further lose weight. It didn't quite reach the super low density of some birds because it kept those hands and claws, but it was still a very light animal with hollow bones filled with air. Into the Neogene, Microraptor populated multiple islands and took advantage of their lack of predators to reach exceptional sizes. The Mega Microraptor, or Memiraptor for short, hunted prey by dive slashing them with its sickle claw and then pecking them till they were too weak to move. It specialized in small prey, but a desperate Memiraptor could take on early hominids and was much more than capable of preying on other large animals. It seemed to be similarly capable of preying on flighted or grounded animals. It preferred a quadrupedal posture, though it seemed capable of standing on 2 legs. The most likely reason for this posture was to impress potential mates. While intimidation is another possibility, Memiraptor didn't really live with anything it would need to intimidate. They had quill-like feathers on their head and long tail feathers with bright iridescence to attract mates, and may have partaken in some sort of dance as well. As this Microraptor descendant grew even larger, it was able to fly to and successfully dominate other areas. In the current era, they can be found all over the globe as large predatory birds. However, most of the mainland species aren't apex predators. There is one group of exceptions though. The Mega Microraptor, or Memiraptor for short, is the largest in a family of terrestrial apex predators. They're very capable of flight and they use it to patrol large areas. For a long time, the areas it lived were uninhabitable to humans because the flying dinosaur would stalk and prey on them like any other animal. The Memiraptor prefers land close to the shore and is known to sometimes prey on fish. Because humans also prefer land close to shore, both animals have clashed in modern times, and humans are inarguably the winners. The Memiraptor is, did I say it right? The Memiraptor is critically endangered, likely to a point of no return. It hasn't been seen in more than a few years, and may already be extinct. That's all I got for this video. Sorry I can't help but make all my speculative animals go extinct. Check out my Patreon, which you can subscribe to for $1 a month to support me and get your name at the end of my videos. Thanks Captain Kobop and Art of Dying. My next History and Evolution video will be about Ankylosaurus. Hope to see you then, and thanks for watching. I don't know why I didn't feel like editing out whenever I messed up my words. I just felt like I literally can't speak. I just felt like keeping going today. I don't know why. I hope it wasn't that annoying. Yeah, can you tell I didn't script this part? I literally cannot speak. But, yep. That's it. Bye.